Dun, dun, dun. Hey guys, welcome to the live. Thank you for joining this night. I'm here very late in the afternoon or between 9 and 11 p.m. But I decided to do a little bit of an earlier stream. So if you're joining for the first time, welcome. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome, guys. If you just joined the live, thank you for checking out this channel. So I hope you guys like the content that I share with everyone that joins today. I'm usually here at 9 p.m. I'm starting a little bit early today, just because I have some stuff to do later. Ah. Mm-mm. Okay, again, everyone who just joined the live, I am starting a little bit earlier today. I'm usually here between 9 and 10:30. I just wanted to start a little bit early today. So welcome to the channel. If you guys have never been here, my name is Gerardo. I am a swing trader and a an investor as well. So welcome to the live today, guys. Jose, I don't know if you're the same Jose that you always hear during my lives. So if you are, appreciate you being here in the live today, Jose. How you doing, man? What do I think about Nvidia today? It broke the resistance that I mentioned yesterday. Let me turn this down. Yesterday it had a resistance of 138 80, I think it was. So it needed to break that to get to the next level, which is going to be the 141, the 142, which is I think where it got today, didn't it? Let's see. Yeah, I mean 142.22. So it did break that resistance at around 137, 138, which is it acted like a strong resistance last time before earnings. After earnings, it broke. Then it retested. I mean, you notice how it made that move. So before earnings, it was at 136, 137. It broke that resistance with earnings. It reclaimed that as support, and then now it's jumping from that support. So, I mean, if we continue to get good news, I think Nvidia could go to 145. That's the next. Actually, 143 ish. It's the resistance. If it breaks that, 145. If it breaks 145, nothing can stop it until 150. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm not buying. I'm not buying any Nvidia right now. For me to buy it, I just sold it at like 137. So for me to buy it, it'll only make sense for me to buy it under 130. So if it drops again, I'll start accumulating a little bit more shares. But that is if it drops to 130. I might do like a cash secure put if it drops a little bit more, and then start entering into some positions below 130. But not right now. Doing great. Good. Awesome, Jose. I'm glad to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that. What do you think about Kraus? Is that CrowdStrike, Millie? I'm pretty sure it is. CW, CRW. I think it is CrowdStrike. I think they had reports today, didn't it? I don't follow the company, but I know they had reports. So I think it actually didn't it drop after reports. I want to say it dropped. Let's look at the 4 hour. Oh yeah, so it actually dropped. Um, well, the thing with CrowdStrike is that it was priced to perfection. You know, kind of like Nvidia. So it needs to deliver on every single thing. It needs to deliver on EPS. It needs to deliver on earnings. It needs to deliver on guidance. And if one of those three things, it's a little off, or there's something that investors don't like, then I mean, it's obvious that the stock has got to drop. No, it's got to drop because it was just pushing too much to that edge where only a big surprise will make that stock go higher. If there are no surprises, I mean, there were surprises, but they weren't good surprises. The surprise was that they made 1.21 million less, which is not a huge deal. I mean, they estimated 1.1 billion. They reported 1.1 billion, so they just missed on 1 million, which is actually pretty on the spot. But again, because it was priced to perfection, that's what happens. That's what happens with stocks like CrowdStrike or Nvidia. If there's a little thing that the investors don't like, then the stock will drop. I do. Let's see. I haven't looked at the resistances and all that stuff. So on the 4 hours, it has resistance at 450, and that's where it almost touched today. I think it closed at 457. So we might see a little bit more sell-off tomorrow. Usually stocks like to follow that trend. I mean, that's a huge engulfing bearish candle. So it's engulfing all the gains from May 23rd. So about 2 weeks of gain and hitting that support, and now it's that engulfed all of those candles. Typically, the trend follows. So tomorrow we might see a little bit more of a sell-off. I don't know, maybe all the way to the 200 SMA, which is around $400. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But definitely not good earnings, or not bad, but not great either. So they needed a surprise. And this stock was like a $250 not that long ago. I remember when it dropped back in, was it last year? I think it was last year. It dropped on some news that they were hacked. Yeah, I think it was last year, August of last year. They dropped to like $200, and I mean, they since then they are worth more than double. So 100% gain since August of last year. So I think it was a little bit extended. So that's why it was priced to perfection, and now it's gonna do probably a little pullback. My educated guess, based on the technicals, I think it probably would hit, like 400 $400. So we'll see. Uh, CRWB. I already talked about CrowdStrike, and you're talking about something else. Okay, so which one is this one? Oh, CoreWeave. CoreWeave. Sorry, Millie. I thought you were talking about CrowdStrike. I think because both of these have earnings. This one, does it have earnings, or no? It doesn't have earnings. It's just probably it's been on the news a lot, or everyone's been talking about it because of the jumps, right? Of how much it has jumped. So here's my thought with this stock, Millie. Okay, I don't know if you already have shares in this and you are on profits. This stock is a new IPO. Okay, for all of you guys who are new to this kind of stuff, an IPO stands for initial price offer. Okay, initial price offers, which means that the stock just came out and it's brand new to the market. So when a stock is brand new to the market, the investors don't know where the price is going to sit. What's a good price for this stock? Okay, what's a good price that investors will like? We don't know that. And because we don't know, the stock tends to move very aggressively, either up and then pulls down and then jumps back up. And because the price hasn't settled yet, we don't know. We don't know where what the value of this stock is going to be. So the problem with IPOs is that they could go high up, and then at one point it's gonna get stuck and it's gonna drop, and it's gonna be very hard to move from there because it's finally finding the fair price. Okay, for this stock, it's just been skyrocketing. I don't know if it could go higher. It could go higher. But then once it hit a certain point where investors start taking profits and they say, you know what, this stock is not worth $150. This stock is worth less. So I'm gonna take my profits and I'm gonna let this stock settle, and then wherever it settles, that's probably gonna be the fair value for this stock. So, so that's the problem with CoreWeave. It's such a new stock. There's no other history with this stock. The fundamentals are brand new. So we don't know much. There's no EPS, of course, because we haven't had any earnings for this stock. So there's a lot of missing information. Um, so that's a problem with this kind of stock, and it's not because I say that. I can share an example with you guys. So, and somebody else, I was listening to somebody else earlier in the week, and they brought up. Do you guys know the ticker symbol for Rivian? No, no, was it Rivian? I think it was Rivian. I don't think it's a Rivian. Yeah, this one. So Rivian also, it's a I mean, it was a new IPO back in 2021, I want to say. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, 2022, somewhere around that. It was a new IPO, right? It came out, and obviously, because it came out, there was a lot of speculation with the stock. The stock skyrocketed to $178. Okay, I'm looking at the monthly, so that's why we don't have that many candles. Um, but the stock came out the first month. It went from it opened at $94. The first month it went all the way to 135. Then the second month it went all the way to 179. Okay, again, new IPO, brand new stock, brand new company in the market. So everyone was speculating, Rivian is gonna go to the moon. It's gonna be a $300 stock. But then, like I said, investors started taking profit because we don't know. We don't know because there are no earnings. There's no cash flow with this company. We don't know if this company is gonna make money or not. You're just speculating. What's gonna happen with this company? What's the fair price? So once investors realize, well, this is way too high, $180 for this stock, I'm just gonna take some profits. So a lot of investors started taking profits, and look at what happened. The next month it kept going down, then the following month, going down, going down, going down, and it just started that downtrend up until today. It's trading at $14. So imagine from $180 to 14, because now investors think, okay, this is a fair price. I think this is where Rivian should be, and this is for the past 4 years. It's been downtrending, so we don't know. Okay, and if you don't know whether the stock is gonna keep moving up or what's gonna happen, because we don't know again the earnings, we don't know how much money it's gonna make, we don't know if it's gonna be a good company. There are a lot of things that you speculate, you're putting your money at risk. So, um, so that's my thought on CoreWeave. Okay, that's why I'm not gonna invest in this stock. I mean, just look at this. I mean, that looks beautiful, but that's also not how healthy stocks should be. Healthy stocks go up, pull back, go up, pull back, and if the stock keep producing and making money and they have good ideas, they're expanding, then it keeps doing the same thing, up and pulls back, up and pulls back. And of course, when the rest of the market doesn't do well, those stocks also tend to get pulled back. This stock seems like it's just being going up and up. So eventually, and remind me whenever that time happens, this stock is gonna get shorted. Okay, I guarantee it. It's gonna get shorted. Some traders are gonna see opportunity. They're gonna short that stock, and it's gonna start to drop. So careful on that one, Millie. If you already are in profits, again, not financial advice, but if you're in profits, you're making good money. Why not take some profits and not be wondering, well, what if it goes to 300? But what if it goes to zero? Or not, maybe not zero, but What if it drops again back to where it opened, which was at about 38 bucks? Maybe sell some shares, get some profits. Again, not financial advice. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just telling you what usually happens with these kind of stocks. Okay, I've seen a couple of them that have IPOs. They go to the moon and then they drop until they find their fair value. So that's what I think. Isidro, thank you for the ticker symbol. So Rivian, yeah, RIVN. I'm not saying that Rivian is a bad company. I mean, it's rough to be in this business, especially when you're competing with Tesla. This company competes with Tesla, and Tesla is just gonna destroy this company because Tesla's got so much more than Rivian. Rivian's only has electric cars. That's it. And Rivian is surviving. Do you know why Rivian is surviving? Because Volkswagen is kind of like sponsoring Rivian. They injected some money into Rivian, and that's why it jumped from, at one point I think it was at $9. I want to say, see, yeah, at $8. Okay, and it just kept dropping from there. I mean, you see those lower highs, okay, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, and then finally broke out of that trend because Volkswagen injected some money into Rivian, and to see if they could, make a good, if they could start making profits. But again, as of now, it looks pretty rough on Rivian. There's a lot of people that believe in Rivian. I mean, I hope it does well, but as of now, it's looking pretty rough. It's been in that range for a while. So careful on those new IPOs. Rosario, what is good for this week? I mean, a lot of the stocks are trying to, especially the good ones, are close to all-time highs. I mean, if you're looking at ETFs, SPY is getting close to all-time high. It's at 596. It's at that resistance. If it breaks that 596, it's gonna go to 600, and if it breaks 600, it's all the way to all-time highs, 610, 611, somewhere around that price. So we'll see. Technology wise, my favorite stocks, the Mac 7, Nvidia is doing pretty good, but it's also getting close to all-time highs. Microsoft, I think it's if it's not at all-time highs, it's very close. 467, 468, that's the all-time highs. So it getting very close to that. Very dangerous, okay, because you don't know if it's going to reject that. Apple is not in a very good spot right now because of the tariffs, and we don't know whether they're going to move their factories to India or what's going to happen with the tariffs with China. So there's a lot of uncertainty around Apple. Apple's got an event next week, the WWDC, I think it's called WWDC. So the developers conference, and usually stocks like this tend to rally before the event. The event, I think it's on Monday. So I haven't seen Apple move very much. Okay, so we'll see. But very dangerous again because of the tariffs. We haven't had good news. Once we get clearance on that, I think Apple is going to start moving. But we need to hear back from that. Same thing with Amazon. Amazon, the tariffs are moving Amazon. If tariffs are settled, which they should be by July 8th, that was a deadline that Trump added yesterday. July 8th, everything should be settled. All the tariffs should be set. Whether we have a deal or not, all the tariffs should be set by July 8th, except with China. China, I think they got another extension until August 31st. So, Google, out of all the companies, I love Google the best. So yeah, Millie, Google is one of the companies that has the best, the best price to earnings ratio. Okay, so this stock is making a lot of money. I mean, you could see all the earnings. They're all here in green. They have beat EPS and earnings in the past quarter. I mean, here they dropped a little bit, but the stock still went up. I mean, they've had really good earnings and really good EPS for the past few quarters. So for this stock to be at this price, I think, again, not financial advice, right? But um, I think it's at a reasonable price. Okay. Now Google is facing a couple of different problems. Unfortunately, um, it is facing the a lawsuit on Google Chrome for being a monopoly search engine. They might make them sell Google Chrome to other companies. We'll see. A lot of AI companies are interested in buying Google Chrome. I mean, if that happens, I think Google is gonna drop way more because they get a lot of revenue from Google Chrome. But we'll see. I mean, there have been rumors about Google losing losing Google Chrome, so I hope it doesn't happen. But again, that doesn't mean it's a bad stock, you know. But it's facing a little bit of trouble right now. So that's what I think, Rosario. I mean, those are good stocks, but we're getting very close to all-time highs. I'm just waiting to get out of my last positions on Google. I have some stocks in Google. I wanted to hit 174, 175. It already hit that last week, but I did a cover call, so I didn't sell. I just collected my premium, but I'm trying to get out of it by like 175, 176, somewhere around that area, which is resistance for Google. And my other contracts are on Amazon. So Amazon and Google, those are my last two positions. I'm already out of everything, and after I'm out, then I'm gonna just wait for stocks to settle, maybe pull back a little bit because once they hit all-time highs, I do see a little drop. Especially we still have more uncertainty on tariffs. Rosario, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. Thank you for the gifts and thank you for the likes. Thoughts on Kathy on XMTR? What is XMTR? XMTR. Symmetry. XMTR. And let's see. Let me look at the daily as well. I don't know about this one. It's coming. I think it's also sort of a new IPO from the. Oh no, actually, I mean 4 years, so kind of like Rivian, but it's sort of like in a downtrend. It broke that downtrend. I don't know what the news were on this, but it broke the downtrend. It's trying to recover a little bit, but it's now again on another downtrend, making lower lows and higher lower lows, lower highs. Let's see. Producer manufacturing metal fabrication. I don't like it. This was Kathy, right? Kathy, I don't like it just because it hasn't broke these couple of resistances. So you got resistance right there where it's exactly where it is right now, and then you got resistance at right there, like $44, $45. Right now, it's hitting that resistance, so you gotta wait and see how it reacts to that. Right now, it's been there for 10 days. For 10 days, it's been hitting that resistance. So it's got some stubbornness and force trying to break that resistance. So watch it. If it breaks that resistance, it's gotta reclaim it. Okay, now as support, and then if it reclaims that support, then it could go to the next resistance, which is 44. Okay, I don't know if you're already invested in that, but keep an eye on that breaking resistance. Uh, Jacoya, thank you for the gift. Appreciate it. Thoughts on? Okay, we got that. Are you open to tell us what are you invested in? Period. Yeah, I just shared it. I still have some shares on Amazon and some shares on Google. Those are my last two positions. Google and Amazon. So I did a cover call on Google last week. That's why I didn't sell. and I just collected my premium. I think it was like $400 on that. So it dropped again. So if it goes to 173, so 174, I might do another cover call at 175. And if it doesn't hit it and it's close to that price, I'm just getting out of it and selling and collecting my premium. So that's my plan. Rosario, thank you for the gifts again, and thank you, appreciate it. Arcom, Annette Chard, is that the ticker symbol? Arcom, Annette. Are you familiar with a poor man's cover call? No, Isidro. A poor man's cover call? No. Uh, Poor man's cover call. No, man. I don't know. Is that some kind of option? I don't do options. The only options I do is with my own stocks. So, so that if that's an option, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'll look it up. I'll look it up, but I don't know if it's an option. It sounds like it's an option. But I'm actually taking a workshop in a couple weeks on options. It's a 2 day workshop, so maybe I'll hear a little bit about that. But if not, I'm gonna look it up before, so that uh, I don't go empty-handed. Sí, ¿qué trading o también largo plazo? Servat, swing trade. Hago swing trade y largo plazo. So, los dos. T Dog, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Period. Can you check MCTR? Yep, absolutely, man. MCTR. Center Group Limited. Okay, let's see. Period. I think this is also a new IPO, right? Oof, look at that. That's a crazy candle. What does this do? Electronic technology, equipment. Control Group is holding a company which engages the provision of marketing and advertising services. Well, here I don't know if you were here for that little talk that I had earlier. Period, about new IPOs. New IPOs are like you're flipping a coin because the price hasn't settled. New IPOs tend to go high at first, and then the price settles after a couple months. You know, time varies, but it's dangerous because you don't know where this price is going to settle. Right now, this company opened in January, or the IPO opened in January, and it opened at $4, and now it's at 32. So unless you got it at this price at $6 or $4, and you're in profits, then I mean, why would you risk? Because this could go easily to higher, but it could also go way lower, and at that point, you are in that uncertainty. Okay, if you want to make money in stocks, and you want this to be consistent, and you don't want to risk your money or gamble it, but because with some stocks you are gambling. Okay, a lot of people say stocks are not gambling and blah blah blah. If you pick good stocks, it's not gambling. But if you pick stocks that are new, that have no data, that have no fundamentals yet, then you are gambling because you don't know where the stock is going to go. And if you don't know where it's going to go and what the final price is going to be, especially with with this stock, then you're I mean, you're actually gambling your money. Okay, you could buy at 32 and it could go to 60, but you could buy at 32 and it could go back to $6, or that resistance, that support at like $9, $10, right? So it could drop, because there's nothing that can stop this stock to drop. As you know already, supports and resistances are created by the moves either going up or going down. This stock has no move, or no pullback. It's all going up, which means there is no support. Okay, there's no support for this stock. There's nobody that's going to be stopping or buying at 12, at 16, at 20, At 30, nobody's gonna be buying at that price. So if nobody's buying at that price, when this stock is getting that pullback, because nobody's buying, there's no history of anyone buying at that price, then it's just gonna continue to drop and drop and drop. And the guys that do that short stocks, they see this as opportunity. Okay, they see it as opportunity because there are some guys that are they're just looking. They have scanners where they look what stock is dropping from, or what stock had a big jump in price. They look it up on those scanners. They find it and they say, okay, this is a good stock to short. And then when they see that move, they start shorting that stock all the way to wherever it's gonna stop. They start taking profits, right? Most of them, they don't wait until it drops all the way down. They wait until it drops 50% of the way, and then they take some profits. And then if it keeps going down, then they take the rest of the profit. So that's how people short the market. So this is perfect for that. So be careful with that one. It's a kind of it's kind of like a cover call. Isidro, I don't know, man. I haven't seen that on my broker, on my broker, and maybe because I haven't really explored that very much with my broker. But my broker only offers cover calls, cash secured puts, and of course, um, if you're gonna do a long call or any other option, right? But I haven't seen that one. I need to look it up. I don't know if all the brokers offer it, or what's the difference between a poor, what do you call it? A poor man's covered call. I don't know what the difference is between that and a covered call. Can you check Annette? Oh, Annette. Okay, so let's Arcom. So that was a ticker symbol. I was just asking you if that was a ticker symbol. I wasn't sure. Let's take a look. Annette. $94 on the daily candles, daily chart. It's coming from. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's hitting that 200 SMA, but let's look at a 5-year, see how it has been behaving. Um, it looks great, man. Our Arista Networks. I don't know what they do. I'm not familiar with this company, but the technicals look pretty good. It's been going up. It hit an all-time high of 133. It dropped to 60. I mean, that's an aggressive move. That's something I don't like. I don't know if they got bad news or bad earnings, or why did it drop from 132 all the way to 60. They must have had bad news during that time, because the technicals show pretty good support at the 20 SMA on the weekly, and then on the daily it's been using the 50 as support. So I don't know why it had that drop. Maybe you know a little bit more about that stock, Arkham. Um, about why did it drop on February of this year. Okay, so that was before the tariffs. So that had nothing to do with the tariffs. The tariffs just pushed it. Probably the tariffs pushed it down even further down. But it must have had bad news before that, because earnings are solid. I mean, earnings are. See, yeah, I mean, earnings are positive for the past quarters. So it must have had bad news then. It dropped. So do a little research of what happened in February with this company, Arista Networks, and why did it drop. Now it's using the 200 SMA as resistance. It needs to break that. It already tried to do that, but it didn't work. So it went down. Now it's going to try to hit that again. In order for you to get confirmation if it's breaking that resistance, it needs to close with the whole green candle above the 200 SMA. So wait for that, and then if you get confirmation, it might continue to go up. But it doesn't look like it's a bad stock. Millie, AN ANF ANF. Let's check that one out. Oh, that's Abercrombie. Ooh, I haven't heard about this company in a long time, and probably with a good reason. Let's see. Abercrombie. Man. Let's see. 196. It had a big rejection. Big rejection here. So it tried to break that downtrend, but I don't think it worked. Look at what happened. Um, it had a jump on earnings. See, earnings were they beat earnings, they beat EPS, but obviously investors are a lot of investors probably trying to get out of this, just run away from this stock because they don't see any potential or any growth. Because sometimes earnings could be great. Okay, keep that in mind for those of you that watch earnings on stocks. Sometimes stocks can have great earnings, great EPS, um, great revenue, but if the guidance is not great, and I'm assuming Abercrombie, um, because they sell clothes, and probably a lot of the clothes they import from Vietnam, from China, probably from India. Then I'm assuming the guidance for them was that they are uncertain about what's going to happen with that, and if they're going to increase their prices because of tariffs. And that's probably what I mean. The stock was happy because of earnings, good earnings, but then it dropped because of guidance. Okay, guidance is always the most important thing to look at earnings when they report earnings, because investors like to see what's going to happen in 3 months. They don't care about what's happening right now. I mean, they look at the numbers and they say, okay, great, you beat the numbers, but they want to know what's going to happen in 3 months because that will make them decide: do I take my money out, or do I put more money into this stock? Um, if there's not no good guidance, why would I put more money in it? And we're talking about these guys that put in billions of dollars, right, or millions of dollars. Um, so instead of that, they just start taking their money out if there's no good guidance for the next 3 months. So that's probably what happened with Abercrombie. Probably not in a good spot right now because of tariffs. What Serbat? I'm usually here at 9, man. So I'm gonna be still be here. I just did a little bit earlier today. But I'm usually here 9 to 10, 10:30. Just wanted to do a little bit earlier live today. I just had some time. Oh, by AVT. Let's see. Live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it violates fake engagement policy under. Hmm. I don't know. I got a message from TikTok. Guys, if you guys help me with the tabs, that usually helps also with TikTok not banning my live. I don't know why they are banning my live or trying to ban my live. Let's see. What brokerage? So tap the screen. Give me some likes. That usually tells um, uh, the algorithm of TikTok that this is a good and healthy live. So I don't know why I got that message though. What brokerage are you using? Thinkorswim, Close and Vital markets don't have some of these. Jacoya, I'm using TradingView. This is TradingView. Thinkorswim, I like it. I've used it before, but I like this one better. It's more colorful, and I already have a lot of setups here, so I prefer to stay with this. But Thinkorswim is not a bad one. That's I think what most pros use because they can buy and sell from that platform. Here, I can't. I use TradingView just to look at the charts, but I have to have my broker on a separate window. So with Thinkorswim, you can trade from the same app. So if you do have an account, visibility restricted. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it violates fake engagement policy under community guidelines. I don't get it. I don't know why. What are your three favorite long-term stocks? Sebar. My three favorite long-term stocks. I would say ETFs, man. ETFs gotta be my three favorites. I mean, they are because I have them. I have them in my long-term portfolio. I have SPY on my long-term portfolio. I have QQQ on my long-term portfolio, and sometimes when I have extra cash, I buy one of the seven mags. Like and one of my long-term, I have Microsoft. Okay, and that's it. I keep it simple, and I just keep pouring money into those stocks. So I would say those are my three favorites to put in long term because they will make me money. No doubt about it. In 10 years, I'm going to look at this, and the SPY in 10 years is probably going to be at $1,000. The QQQ is probably going to be over $1,000 because he has more of the technology stocks in it, and he moves more aggressively. It drops a lot when it drops, but when it goes up, it usually tends to perform better than the SPY. So if you guys are young, for all of you guys watching, if you're 20 or 25, QQQ tends to work better because it's more volatile. It moves more aggressively. It has an return average of about 15%. The past couple years, it's been giving like 25, 28%. So, it has more aggressive returns. But again, it could be more volatile if technology pops, and especially AI right now that everyone's talking about AI, buying AI stocks. Um, this stock will tend to get hit the most, okay, more than the SPY. So, but if you're young and you're in your 20s and you don't plan to cash out until you're in your 40s, 45 or 50, then it's not gonna matter. It won't matter because this stock will recover all that it loses. So that's for long term. Okay, so if you guys are doing long term, would it be smart to short stocks like MTCR then? And how can we do that? Period. MTCR. Is that the one we looked at earlier? So, I mean, it is a good way that a lot of people use to make money to short the stock. Now, to short the stock has its own danger too. Okay, so with shorting stocks, you always have to wait for confirmation. Okay, again, not financial advice. This is just how I do it. If I'm shorting a stock, I usually don't. I just buy stocks. I'm a swing trader. I buy stocks and then I just wait and then sell. Right? If you're shorting a stock, usually people who short stocks they sell the same day because they just take profits because you don't know if the stock is gonna bounce from there. But the way they do it is you gotta choose your broker. Your broker has to have that option. Some brokers don't have that option. I know Robinhood doesn't offer that option where you can short the stocks. You have to have other brokers like Charles Schwab or I think Fidelity also offers the option to short stocks. Uh, the problem with shorting stocks is that let's say you don't get confirmation and you just buy it at 32 and then the stock takes off, okay, for some weird reason it just keeps going up. Okay, a lot of people get desperate and your losses can be unlimited. Okay, because you could just keep going up and instead of going down because you're shorting the stock, you could just be losing money on that. I mean, you just have to wait, right? But stocks like this, they tend to drop sooner or later. But again, if you want to short it, you have to look at a broker that offers that option. Uh, Schlap, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Isidro, it's genius. Let me look at it, man. Now you're making me curious about that. So I'll check it out. Can you check SBED? I've seen that stock before. Somebody asked me about SBED before. Let's see, I always lose it on my list, but I don't lose anything by just tapping SBED. Oh, I thought I had it here. See SBED, and that was Jose. So same thing, Jose. This is a penny stock. Okay, penny stocks tend to move very aggressively sometimes on no news. You could see here. I mean, big jump from $3 to 55 and then 120. I mean, this is. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. For all of you guys that were asking me about MCTR, okay, or even CoreWeave. Well, CoreWeave is not. It's a new IPO, so that'll be a little different. But stocks that jump suddenly and you start seeing those green candles and you're thinking, oh, it's gonna go to the moon, it's gonna go. If it went from $3 to 87 or 124, it's probably gonna hit 300, and then people get that FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. That's very natural. It's very common. That's why people use it in the stock market a lot because it's a common thing. Okay, the FOMO. people start thinking this stock is looking really good. It was at $3, now it's at 120. It's gonna continue that move, and look at what happens next. It drops to 70. It drops to 50. This candle is quickly or clearly showing rejection. It went all the way to 82, and then sellers were thinking, well, this is not great. I'm gonna sell, 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 and then they got to this point where it opened, and then they continue sell, 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 and it created this shooting star uh, um, candle. So tomorrow is probably going to continue to move down, or it might be trending for a little bit, but again, sooner or later it will hit that, it will fill in this gap. Okay, because you can't sustain this kind of move. Okay, there's nothing that stops it from moving down, so careful on that one. C-bar, I don't know what to call you, man. C-bar or Sebar. Colombia, I'm gonna call you Colombia, that's easier. Colombia, thank you for sharing the live, man. Appreciate it. Thoughts on F? That's Ford, right? I think I looked at Ford yesterday. I don't like this kind of stocks. They offer good dividends, and stocks like Ford and Coca-Cola, they tend to offer good dividends because they know their stock doesn't really move much. Okay, I guarantee it. If I look at this stock from a while back, it's probably going to be at the same price that it is right now. So let's take a look at Coca-Cola. It's trending at $10. I mean, in 2021, it was already at $10. Okay, it went up to $26, and now it's back at $10. But just think about it. Okay, it's a $10 move in 5 years. $10 move. Okay, if you bought 100 shares, if you bought 100 shares, let's say at $10, right, and it went to 25, okay, you got $15 per share. That's still a very small amount for that period that you had to wait. As a swing trader, you don't want to you don't get involved into these kind of stocks because there's not a lot of room for you to gain. You like stocks that, okay, they move $5 in a couple weeks, okay, like Nvidia. It moves $10, $20 in a month and a half, or $30 in a month and a half. That's pretty good. It has a lot of potential. Stocks like Microsoft, right? Microsoft was at 390, 380 about a month ago, and now it's at 462. You, as a swing trader, you like those kind of moves. With the stocks like Ford, I mean, there's not a lot of potential. You can put in, $1,000 or buy 1,000 stocks at this price, and in a year it'll probably be maybe positive, maybe negative, a couple bucks. There's not a lot of room for you to make money, and your money is just going to be sitting there. I mean, you're going to get the dividends of 6%, which, what I said earlier, they pay a lot of dividends to attract buyers, to say, hey, our stock doesn't really move much up and down, but we offer you all of this money. So the people that put money into Ford are the ones that they just want to collect dividends. Okay, I'm not there for the dividends, so I wouldn't buy this kind of stock. And that was for Kathy. So Kathy asked me that. So again, thank you for the live, Jacoya. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate it. Alonso, I think it's the bad words like Sheena, Cian. Alonso, you were talking about the why I'm getting the message from TikTok. I don't know. Probably I don't know. I just haven't seen any bad words. I don't get them on the chat. I don't, unless they're getting blocked without me looking at them. But it might be. Do you focus on high yield max ETS for long term investment, Isidro? Not really, man. Because like I said earlier, if usually if you have a stock that pays high dividends, it's because it doesn't really move. You're gonna notice that right away when you look at stocks like QQQ. I don't even know. I don't think QQQ offers dividends. Oh yeah, they offer 0.57. I mean, less than 1%. SPY I think offers like 1% maybe. Yeah, 1.21%. And the reason why it's because they move aggressively, right? So they offer growth, and that's why they don't offer a lot of dividends, because they know people are gonna get into this stock because they know they can get about 10%, on average every year. The stocks that don't really move are the ones that offer the dividends to attract those investors. So, um, see Palantir, Millie. Okay, we'll look at Palantir in a second. Let's see Sabar. Thank you, man. No problem. No problem. Anytime. You can send Trader Brokerage a link to Trader View. Tradier Brokerage and link it to Trading View. Oh, okay. Tradier Brokerage. Ozzy. I haven't seen that one. Tradier Brokerage. I haven't looked at that broker. I'll look it up. I didn't know you can link that to Trading View. I have a broker. I have a Charles Schwab, so I just use it separately. But I mean, it probably will make more sense for me to use Thinkorswim. But I've been getting used to this platform, so I rather use this one and then just have another window on the side. But yeah, thank you for that tip, Ozzy. Palantir. So Millie wants us to look at Palantir. Palantir, it's at all-time highs. I know. I looked at that stock not that long ago. I don't think it's a bad stock. My problem with Palantir is that it's a very expensive stock. You guys can see it here. No. So right now Palantir is at 133. Is that where it closed? Let's see, 133, 133.17. So it is a very expensive stock. For all of you guys that are new to the market and are looking at options or have heard about Palantir going to the moon, it has been going to the moon, and that's a problem. That it's overbought. It's overbought, and people keep buying it because it's been getting a lot of good news, good contracts with the government, good contracts with Social Security. I think they just received a contract with Social Security to run their database. They received a contract with the IRS also to look at backgrounds because the technology that Palantir has can run databases in less than 5 minutes. What usually took the IRS or the Social Security a couple months to investigate, Palantir can do it in 5 minutes. And obviously that got the attention of a lot of these agencies, and they offered contracts to Palantir, and that's why it's been just going to the moon. But it is a very expensive company. Whenever you guys analyze and look at fundamentals, one of the things that you have to look at is how expensive is the company, and I don't mean the price of the stock, but I mean the PE ratio. Okay, the PE ratio is just crazy for Palantir. It's at $576, which it doesn't make sense. It makes for each share. Okay, pay attention to this. I'm gonna make a video actually on my profile about PE ratio, so that you guys know how that works. But just to give you a quick glimpse of what I'm gonna talk about in that video, for every share that Palantir owns, okay, or that Palantir offers to the public, they make 25 cents. Okay, only 25 cents. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if you buy one stock, okay, of Palantir at $133, it may pay you 25 cents. That's not a lot, okay? For spending $133 and me making 25 cents, why would I? Okay, it doesn't make sense. So basically, if you put it all together, you need to spend $576 to make $1 on Palantir. that makes it a very expensive company. And that's a problem. If Palantir gets bad news in the future, it's going to drop very heavy because investors know, they know that it's a very expensive company right now. I'm not saying it's not a good company. It's a good company. It might be worth, keeping the money there in the long term, but at this time, I do see Palantir dropping pretty heavily in the near future, and it already did. It already dropped not that long ago. I think it was see, April was because of the tariffs, but I know it dropped before that. I think it was during March. Yeah, in March it dropped to 75. So from 124, it dropped to $76, and that was because they got news that there was gonna be a lot of budget cuts on the government, and obviously the government is the one that make offer contracts to Palantir. So because they had those bad news, the stock dropped from 120 to $74. So that's a pretty significant drop. That's almost $50 drop. And that was just one thing of bad news. These kind of companies go through those cycles. They always get bad news, 100%. Either a lawsuit, either one of their, or they got hacked, or whatever. They always have bad news eventually. So for me, this company very expensive. Okay, good company, but just very expensive right now. Okay, Isidro, QQQ, TSLY, MSTY. So are those the ones that offer a lot of dividends, Isidro? Let's check QQQI. Man, I have so many for QQQ that I get them mixed up all the time. I have QQQ, QQQM, TQQQ, SQQQ. So it's hard to remember what each one of them does, but those are the ones that I track mainly. QQQI. Let's say QQQI. High income ETF. Let's take a look at that. It's a $50 right now. It offers, woohoo, 14% dividend. That looks beautiful. But again, if you guys are doing long term, I mean, this is clearly what I'm talking about, right? If you look at the ranges, okay, right there and right here, no. So since January 24th, is it new, Isidro? Is it new? It's probably new because it doesn't have any more history, but it opened at $53 back in January of 2024, so about a year and a half ago. It hit that all-time high again at 54, and right now it is at 50.91. So there's not a lot of move, right? That's exactly what I said earlier. Stocks that don't have a lot of moves, they offer good dividends, which this one is pretty good. I mean, I hadn't seen this one. 14%. So if you guys have good money and you say, well, I want to put it into this stock so that I can get and collect dividends, because I have, I don't know, $100,000 and I don't want to risk it in stocks, might as well get dividends, and your money will be somewhat secure in this, because a bank is never gonna, not even a high yield savings account is gonna pay you 14% interest. Okay, so you gotta be willing to risk a little bit of money, in the stock, and you never know. I mean, if you bought on the cheaper side at $40, which is what how much it dropped back when the tariffs were announced, $40, and now it's at 50. I mean, it's not an aggressive move, but you're still getting your 14% back. So, um, so not bad. So thank you, Cedro, for sharing that. That looks pretty good. That's for all of you guys that just want to collect dividends. If you want to collect dividends, that's the way. How long have you been swing trading? What time frame chart do you mainly look at when you buy or sell? Kathy, I've been swing trading for about 5 years. Well, I would say swing trader 3 years. Because the first couple years I was undecided what kind of trading I wanted to do. I was doing day trading, I was doing scalping, and I had good and bad experiences with that. So I moved away from that, and because of the time that I have to trade, swing trades work better for me. So for the past 5 years I've been trading, but specifically swing trading, for 3 years. So, and the time frames that I use for swings are the daily, just to know where the stocks close, to predict where they're gonna go, and then the 4 hour and the 1 hour to plan my entries. Okay, and that's more of once I know that I'm ready to get into the stock, then I look at the 4 hour and the 1 hour to know what's my best entry. I know I'm never gonna be able to get the bottom or the very top, but at least I can get somewhat close to that. So that's what I use. Flaco, thank you for joining the live. Hood, Flaco. Oh, Hood has been going to the moon. I haven't analyzed that stock, but let's take a look. Is it just Hood? Robinhood Market? Yeah. So, yeah. So look at this. Beautiful chart. And I think they just been getting a lot of new features. This company specific. I bought it when it came out. When the IPO came out, and it went all the way to like 80 something. I mean, you see, if you guys were here at the beginning of this live, I was talking about IPOs, right? It started at 34. I bought some, and then it went all the way to 80, and I just sold it. And then from there, it was trying to find its fair price, and it just kept dropping, and it was trading at $8 to $10 for a long time. Look at that, ever since 22, and it went to 23, 24, and then it's finally skyrocketing because now they have profits. Now people understand the value. Investors, are looking at this stock into the future. So now it's starting to go up. So, they are offering a lot of services. They've been getting a lot of new customers. They have good earnings. Let's see. Yeah, they have good earnings, good EPS, past quarter too. So all of those good things are just pushing this stock higher and higher. So I do see potential in Hood. It doesn't move very aggressively, but it is in an uptrend. Okay, so it broke out of that downtrend here. It had this consolidation period for a while, for years. So you're talking about from 2022 all the way to 2024. So 2 years in consolidation. It was just in that channel, that range, and now it finally broke out of that range, and it's just been going up and up. So I don't think it's a bad stock, Flaco. It is hitting that all-time highs though, so you gotta watch that and make sure that it doesn't reject that, because right now the all-time highs is at $85, and it's getting very close to that. So keep an eye on that. Make sure it doesn't reject that all-time highs. All right. Okay. So, well, I get more questions there. Let me share just a couple things with you guys before you guys leave. Live visibility restricted. Okay, I don't know what that means, but whatever. Okay, so here are a couple of things that that came out today in the news, or a couple of reports and a couple of things in the news. So today we had some data before the market, or a little bit after the market opened at 10 a.m. And the data was, for some data was good, some data was not that good. Some of the data, like factory orders, this is how much the factories are ordering and items, and this gives a pretty good idea of how those companies, if those companies are selling more, that they have more orders, and it gives a pretty good idea for the Federal Reserve to measure where the economy is. Where it was expected to drop a little bit at 3.3%, but it dropped a little bit more. It dropped to 3.7%, which means that new factory orders are dropping, which means they are selling less. Okay, if they are selling less, that means that the economy is slowing down. People are buying less. They need less items, or they're just buying less. So therefore, the factory orders have to drop because they don't have as many orders. That was the bad data. Okay. Now, this could be a double-edged sword. That's how the Federal Reserve will look at this. They would say, well, if economy is slowing down, that's not good, because we want to keep a balance on the economy, and if it's just keep going down and people are not buying, that is going to create, bad things for the economy. So that's when they start looking at this and say, well, maybe we need to do some rate cuts so that people go back to buying things. Okay. So that's a piece of data that they will be analyzing and probably consider this for possible rate cuts. Maybe not this month, for June, because a lot of analysts are already predicting that there won't be a rate cut this month. Okay, but possibly for next month. Now, the second piece of data that came out were the job openings. So there were a lot more jobs created this past month, the month of April. They were expecting 7.1 million jobs created in the month of April, and there were 7.4 million jobs created, which is pretty good. Okay, it's pretty good that we have more jobs. This doesn't mean that that's how many jobs, that's how many people started to work. It just means how many jobs were created, not filled. Okay, but it's good for the economy that we have more jobs created. So that's a good piece of data. The job openings. A bad piece of data is the factory orders. But again, the Federal Reserve will probably look at this as positive. Okay, the markets didn't really react to any of that. They dropped a little bit. They were pretty much flat. There were some stocks that did drop, but not because of this. Okay, some stocks dropped because of this, because of Trump signing the order of hiking the steel and aluminum tariffs to 50%. He actually signed it today, and it's gonna take effect tomorrow. So tomorrow, or actually, I mean, today at 12 p.m. So, um, not so much because he signed it and now he's gonna charge that, but because other countries like the European Union and of course China and India and all of these other countries that are working on finishing their deals with the United States, they will look at this stuff at the tariff of 50%. They will look at it as a violation of everything that they're working on right now. Okay, if they were ready to present the United States with a deal and say, hey, this is what we're offering you, maybe we don't charge you a tariff for everything that you bring to India or everything that you bring to Europe, we are not going to charge you any tariffs. Now that they see the United States with with these aggressive news, maybe they'll go back to the table and say, hey, we're being nice, we're not charging tariffs, but the United States is charging us 50%. Okay, or charging 50% on the steel that we export to the United States. Maybe we're being too nice. Let's change something on that deal. In my opinion, that's where they are. Okay, and the European Union already came out and said something about this. They said that they don't like this. They're gonna talk to Trump about it, because obviously this creates less imports, or I'm sorry, exports for them to bring to the United States. Okay, because nobody's gonna want to buy this at 50% tariff. So that's my take on this, and that's why the markets started to react to that, and that's when they started to drop, especially stocks like Amazon and others, a couple other stocks that I noticed were dropping. But the SPY moved higher, which is good. Okay, so some stocks did drop, but the SPY overall, it trended higher. So at least for now, not much to worry about. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow because the if we get some reaction from other countries and they make it public, it could hurt the stocks. But we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. And the last thing also was the news that Trump will be talking to President Xi on Friday. Okay, yesterday in the live, I did share with everyone that he had already scheduled that call, but he didn't say the date. Okay, and today they said that this will take place on Friday. So Fridays, as you guys know, and I've been telling you guys, I don't know, for some reason, and I know the reason. Trump likes to move the markets on Fridays, okay? Because he knows that there's absolutely nothing other countries can do over the weekend because the markets are closed. So he likes to create that uncertainty on Fridays, and I don't think this was random. I think he made it on purpose to have this call on Friday to kind of create that volatility in the markets. So he will talk to President Xi on Friday about the tariffs, about China violating some of the deals that they had already made. The reason why they paused the tariffs that Trump had on China, and gave China those 90 days extension to kind of work out a deal. They will probably talk about that and see, what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with those tariffs? So that will happen Friday. It'll be interesting to hear what's going on. Other than that, during the week, we should hear some kind of deal already closed with India. They've been promising, that deal for a little while. So I'm hoping we hear something tomorrow or Thursday. As always, I will keep you guys posted in my profile. I usually always post the news. I don't know if you guys have been getting those during the year on the stories. Whenever I see something of importance that might move the market, I put it on my story. So check it out and then compare that with how the market is moving. That way you can start getting some ideas, of how the market behaves with those kind of news. So we'll wait to see what happens with the tariffs and the call with President Xi. Millie, okay, let's go back to the charts. Got a few more minutes. So Millie, let's look at Dell. Dell is a good company. Problem with Dell is that, let's see, Dell Technologies. Problem with Dell is that Dell moves with Nvidia. Okay, if Nvidia moves up, Dell tends to move up as well. It was in a downtrend for a little while, and now it's kind of wanting to reclaim. So it broke out of its resistance. It's reclaiming the 200, as you see here. Let me make this bigger. On the daily candles, it's reclaiming the 200. It was above the 200 for a little bit. It broke it back down, but it's in that area. Okay, so I need to see this stock hit the 200 as resistance and then start moving up from there for me to be bullish on this candle. So for now, on this stock, for now, I wouldn't get into Dell. It's competing with Nvidia. It's competing with AMD. So I think Dell is staying a little bit behind those two giants. So so if you're planning to enter into this position, Millie, just you wait for more clearance to know where this stock is gonna go. If it was me, I would wait and then maybe buy at the 200 SMA, let it go up, and then put my stop loss at the 200 SMA. That way, if it breaks down again, I mean, at least you get stop at that support. Okay, maybe a little bit under that support. Okay, but again, you don't know where this stock is gonna go. It's competing against giants, so that makes it very difficult. Lifestyle, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I don't know if I think Julie is in the live. So Julie, you know what? The other day I know you asked me about QQQ and I think QQM, is that the one you were trying to compare? And I think I mixed it up with SQQQ. Okay, so I apologize for that, and I thought about it after the live, and I was like, wait a minute, what did I just say in the live? So if you're here, let me clarify that for you. Okay, so the QQQ, okay, this stock tracks it tracks the 100 most popular and technological companies in the Nasdaq. Okay, that's the QQQ. The QQM tracks the 2000 companies in the NASDAQ. Okay, does that make sense? So it's the same thing. QQQ and QQM is the same thing, but the QQQ focuses more on the top 100 companies. Now, TQQQ, this company or this stock, I should say, this is the one that I told you about, that it's 3 times leverage, which means that if the QQQ moves $1 up, the TQQQ is going to move $3 up. If the QQQ moves $1 down, the TQQQ is going to move $3 down. Does that make sense? And then the SQQQ, this is the one that works the opposite as QQQ. So if QQQ goes up, SQQQ goes down. If QQQ goes down, SQQQ goes up. And a lot of people use it whenever they want to short the stock, but you don't really want to short a stock. You use SQQQ, and you know QQQ is gonna drop for whatever reason. You buy this stock, and this stock is gonna move up. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot to remember with QQQ, QQM, TQQQ, STQQ, and then Isidro gave me one earlier, which is QQQI, which is another one that pays high dividends. So all of those acronyms kind of mess me up, but I wanted to just clear that just in case you're still here in the live. Hope that makes sense. Maybe we would buy monthly for the long term. Google, Apple, United Health, Nvidia, and Microsoft. Colombia. Those are great stocks, man. Those are great stocks. Buy monthly for the long term. That's not a bad idea. If it's for the long term, again, this is for everyone that is starting to invest in stocks. Okay, big difference between trading and investing. So investing is thinking about your future, thinking about when do I want to retire. Okay, I'll give you my example. I want to retire in 10 years. Okay, so I am going to be, or I am already, adding money to my long-term account very aggressively. And when I say aggressively, I say a couple $1,000 every month. Oh, sorry, I didn't put TradingView here. There you go. I was explaining to you guys like QQQ and SQQQ, and I wasn't even showing you the chart. I'm sorry. There you go. So here are all the four that I just talked about: the QQQ, QQM, TQQQ, SQQQ. So, anyways, if you're investing for the long term, okay, I think any stock that it's a good stock that has good fundamentals will be fine in 10 years. You're going to make money in that stock, okay? The problem with investing, and that was Colombia, right? The problem with investing in individual stocks, okay? You mentioned Apple, you mentioned Google, you mentioned United Health, Nvidia, Microsoft. Those are great stocks, okay? The problem with those is that because you put in so much money into one of those individually, if one of them drops, then that affects your account a lot, okay? Because the drop it's a big drop. Nothing guarantees that these stocks will be double or triple in 10 years. I mean, they are great companies, but because they are individual stocks, your risk is a lot higher. Okay, that's the problem with investing with individual stocks. That's the reason why a lot of long-term accounts or mutual funds, they invest in SPY and QQQ, okay, or VTI or VOO, any one of those here, okay, which they do the same thing. They track the S&P 500 because they offer 10% on average return every year. And then if something happens by the time you want to cash out and we have a bad economy, the drop is not going to be as significant as if you had or were holding individual stocks. Because imagine if you're holding individual stocks and each one of them is in a bear market for more than 20% down. You know, your account is going to look pretty bad. But if you're holding an ETF, your account might be down maybe 10%, okay, maybe 5%. And I mean, it's still bad, but it's not as bad as if you were holding individual stocks, especially because individual stocks tend to go through that phase that I mentioned earlier. A lot of these stocks, they get lawsuits, they get some services removed, sometimes they have bad earnings. All of these kind of stuff can happen to individual stocks. But if you're holding them in a basket and you have 500 of those stocks in the case of SPY, if one of them goes bad, it's fine because you have 499 other stocks that are doing okay. So Colombia, that's a risky way to invest in the long term. Okay, not that it won't pay off, maybe it will. Okay, but you're also putting a lot of risk into your long term money. Okay, because your long term should be the secure way for you to retire. Okay, with $1 million or $2 million, whatever your goal is. Um, got put till 6-6. Ulises, for what stock, man? What stock are you doing that put for? Devin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Colombia. Okay, yeah. So I hope that helps a little bit. Do you scalp or swing trade? Kai, I do swing trade. I don't scalp. I used to do it though. Thank you, my friend. No problem. And what I wanted to share is that I do long term, and I have SPY and I have QQQ. Those are my main two stocks that I invest in for the long term. So I don't plan to cash out again in 10 years. So I just put money every month, as much as I can. And hopefully in 10 years, it makes me, $1 million or more. And that way I can just retire and live off the compound interest every year. So that's my plan. All right. Okay. So that is all I have for you guys today. For tomorrow, what should we expect tomorrow? Tomorrow, we have a couple of pieces of data that might move the market. We have um, the Federal Reserve Beige Book. They will release this, which is basically is just a report. Okay, a report that the Federal Reserve puts together to tell us how the economy is going and to tell us more or less what they're thinking on rate cuts. Okay, so that usually doesn't really make a big impact on the market, but we'll see. Okay, other than that, there are no other news other than what I just talked about earlier. Trump putting the tariffs on steel 50%. They start tomorrow, so we'll see how the markets react to that. As of now, let's look at the futures. The futures, how are they looking? They're pretty much flat right now. Futures for Russell, for Nasdaq, for S&P, they're pretty flat, almost in the green, so not really moving. SPY, QQQ, they are in the same spot where they closed. So we don't have a lot of movement right now. So we'll see. We'll see what we get at 2 in the morning because that's when the European market opens. That usually makes an impact on the stocks. That's when they drop or move up. So and then of course pre-market today, tomorrow. So we'll see. Trading in the same channel. Thank you. Trading in the same channel. For what, Isidro? What's trading in the same channel? Gold. Gold is going down. Yeah, I mean, gold was overextended. I did mention it at one point. Somebody was asking me about gold, what I thought of it, and I said, gold is going to like all-time highs. It's moving like never before, and futures. Yeah, so futures are pretty flat right now. And gold is been going down. GC. Typically, gold doesn't really move very much. See, is this the one you were talking about, Isidro? So gold doesn't really move very much, but for the past few months, it has been moving a lot, and that's because of the uncertainty that tariffs created. A lot of people pull their money out of stocks and put it into gold, which is typically more a more secure investment. Okay, It doesn't really pay a lot, but for the past months, the past couple months, it has been paying because has been going up. So let's see. You made $100 in the last 15 minutes trading MGC. MGC. See MGC. MGC. Micro gold futures. Oh, you're trading right now? Let's see. MGC. Micro gold futures. Okay. Good job, man. Good for you. Congratulations on making $100. Just trading futures. So pretty awesome. I don't trade this kind of stock. I don't trade futures or anything like that. But if you do, congratulations on making that money, man. It's always great. It's always great. Whenever you come out of the market with money on your hands, that makes you a successful trader. XRP, I don't do XRP just because I don't understand crypto, and XRP it could go down, it could go up on nothing, So I don't really trade XRP. It is in a downtrend channel though. Like if you look at the technicals, it's been hitting lower highs, lower lows. So, and it's under the 200 SMA. So not looking very good for XRP. But I don't do this kind of stock. See, Isidro, yes, 2 minute. Yes, 2 minute. So you're looking at a 2 minute chart. Is that what you're looking at? That's very stressful, man. Like for me, when I tried scalping, looking at the 1 minute candles and the 5 minute candles, it's just too much. It's just way too much. You're like, your eye has to be on the candle, how it moves, and it's like everything happens so fast that it was very stressful for me. So I was like, nah, you know what, this is not what I want to do. Because if I want this for a career in the future and I want to live off of this, it definitely does not. It's not what how I want to be trading for a living. I don't want to be in the computer, all 6 hours, at least the first 2 hours and the last 2 hours or the last hour of closing. I don't want to be sitting there. I just want to enter into a trade, then go do my own thing and wait a couple days, couple weeks, and then sell. All right, at a profit, of course. That's ideal, but that's how I would like to, use my plan. Um, Again, just because I like to do other things, even if it's not as profitable as day trading or scalping. Um, I'd rather take smaller profits and know that I made a good trade than to be in front of the computer for a couple hours. So trust the indicators. Yeah, I mean if it's a good stock, yeah, you look at the indicators and I mean for what you're doing, you got to look at different indicators. You're probably using like the VWAP and the stochastic maybe RSI or the Fibonacci. I don't know if that's what you're using for that time frame, but definitely not what I'm using. What I'm using is just ideal for swing trades, but not for scalping or doing the 1 minute or 2 minute time frames. So you're probably using different indicators than I am. All right. Let's see, Charles indicators. So I'm pretty sure you're still trading right. Are you still trading right now, Isidro? All right. Let's look at what am I planning to do tomorrow. So tomorrow, it depends how things go. I might do a cover call on Google if it goes up. Okay, if it goes too close to 170, I might do a cover call. Yes, man. When do you sleep? Or do you just trade like before going to bed? I mean, you're already in profits, man. So I would probably go to bed happy that I made some profits before going to bed. Yeah. Okay, before going to bed. Yeah, so for me, because I have some stocks in Google, I'm probably gonna do a cover call, but I'm gonna look that up. The one that you mentioned, Isidro, see what's up with that and what the difference what the difference is with cover calls. Because I do cover calls, and I mean they pay off, so they give me some money. Google is in a downward trend. It just broke. So you see that? I was tracking this. Was it in the 4 hour? No, it was not in the 4 hour. It was uptrending for a little bit. I mean, it hasn't clearly broke out of that uptrend, but it seems like it wants to. Um, and again, I think it's because of those bad news on Google Chrome trying to sell it to an AI company. If they do confirm that and they sell it, I do see this going down, probably to the lows of 140, 150. But that again, that doesn't mean that the stock is it's a bad stock. I think it's a good stock. It's just it's got bad news right now. So we'll see. We'll see if that confirms tomorrow. Um, so maybe I'm just it's just gonna hit my it's gonna hit one of my prices and I'm just gonna sell. Okay. So my stop loss, I think it's at around 160. I'm already I bought a 150, so I'm still in profits there. But I was waiting to see if it would go back to 175, and then sell. So we'll see. I hope it does. Um, add EWO to your trading view. Add EWO to your trading view. Is that another stock? EWO. iShares MSI Austria ETF. It's an ETF. Okay. See. Let's see the weekly and the 5 year. Okay, it's in an uptrend. I mean, it was there a couple years ago at $27. Right now it's at 29, but it's moving upwards, so it doesn't look bad. I'll check it out. Oh, the indicator. Okay, I thought you were meaning like another stock. Um, See, I can put it on my favorites and then check it out later. So EWO. Oops. EWO. Breaking Bands, XTL. Is this the one? I don't know if you use TradingView as well, Isidro. So we can look at that one. Okay, so it's like sort of like an RSI. Oh, the second one. Let's see. EWO. The gift card. Okay, so let's put that as a favorite and check it out. Okay. So EWO gift card. Okay. So it marks your drops and then the trend. Uh, okay. I'll analyze it and see if it fits. Maybe not this one, but if I look at a different one of my different setups and add it on there. So thank you, Cedro, for that info. Can you check IWM? Okay, with this one, I'm gonna finish the live. So IWM, the Russell 200 ETF. It's an ETF, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, Russell ETF. Let's look at weekly. If it's in an uptrend, it is in an uptrend. It's pretty good. It's an ETF, so ETFs tend to do well in long term. Right now, it is above the 200, so looking good. On the day though, it's below the 200. So I don't know. Period. I don't know if you're planning to enter into this, but most stocks that trend above the 200, they're doing pretty good. They have to get confirmation and then keep going up so that you know that they will continue to move up. If they're trending under the 200 in the daily candle, you gotta wait for confirmation. Otherwise, you don't know if it's gonna reject it and then keep going down. Because right now, it is a little bit of in a downtrend. Let's see. So it hit here. Okay, so it's making some lower highs, lower lows, as you can see here clearly. Let's move this one here, somewhere around there. Okay. Yeah, so 244, it hit here, lower low, lower low here, lower high, lower high, lower low, again, lower high, lower low. It's breaking out of, trying to break out of that trend. So this is a good candle though. This is a good candle, kind of trying to make that breakout. You will need to fully break this downtrend. Okay, so get maybe a couple more candles here, maybe hit that resistance, and then make sure that it's moving up from there. And again, use the 200 as support. So keep an eye on that. I'll send you a pic. Helps stay on the trade longer or get out if it's going to the opposite. Okay, yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for sharing that. What are the indicators that you have on? Works for any time frame. Change colors. Yeah, the blue and the red, I think they're a little bit too much. Favorite indicators. So my favorite indicators are the I'm gonna remove this from now. I already put it on my favorites, so I know where it is. Favorite indicators are the SMAs, which is the 200, the 50, and the 20. The volume, to know how much volume, how many people are buying or selling, and the RSI, which gives me a pretty good indicator of momentum. Okay, this is a momentum indicator. So whether the stock has good momentum or bad momentum, it'll tell me right away. So oversold or overbought. iCord, thank you for joining the live, man, today. So all of you guys that joined today, I appreciate you guys being here and having me in the live today. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your tabs. I almost got to 10,000 today, so appreciate that. Very much appreciate all of you guys. Let's go get to 10K. Okay, 10K, and then I'm leaving. So neighbor, BRK, is that Warren Buffett stock, the Berkshire Hathaway? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, for sure. I know it dropped a little bit. Let's see, is this the one? No, that's Schwab. Let me just look it up. I know I have it here, but BRK. Yep. Wait. There's a period on it? Oh, actually there is. I didn't know. Okay. So, this stock has some support at around 480. I looked it up, or I heard someone talking about it. So it's got some support at 480. It's been there before. So if it was me and I was trying to enter into this stock, I would wait for it to hit like around 480 and then enter into a trade with this stock. So this is not a bad company. I mean, this is Warren Buffett's company, and Warren Buffett, he is the master Yoda of trading or investing. Okay, because he invests in stocks. When there were when they had news about him finally leaving the company as a CEO, I think that's when they started to drop a little bit, because he announced that he's finally retiring from this company, and that's when the stock started to drop a little bit. But I mean, this is a strong company. It has strong fundamentals. It's a good stock. So, but for me to enter into this, I'll probably wait for it to hit 480. Maybe buy some shares here. Set my stop loss somewhere around a little bit below that, so that if it keeps going down, I mean, I'll take the loss. But you never know. But my guess is that it's gonna stop somewhere around 480, 485, somewhere around that range. So 10K. Thank you guys for the 10K. We got there. I appreciate your help. Arlindo, Thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. I hope you like the content. I hope you join us here every day at night. 9 to 10 p.m. or 10:30, somewhere around that time. Today I was just a little bit earlier, but typically I'm here 9 to 10. So thank you for the follow. Can you check Path? If not, okay, Path for sure, man. I'm here, and you guys gave me the 10,000 likes, so why not? 10 Path. Path technology services. There are so many companies that are just like they're just marked as technology services. I don't even know what they half of these companies do. But mm, I already don't like it. Period. It's look at that history of this company. I mean, trading at. Let me look at the weekly and the 5 year. Always when you want, and this is just for. There's not even history in 5 years. Okay. Whenever you want to look at companies and know whether they are a good or bad company, always look at the 5 year and the weekly. Okay, 5 year weekly, that'll tell you where this company has been or where it's going. This company is, I mean, it's not a new IPO, but ever since it was released to the market, it's been in a downtrend. I mean, that was back in 2021, and it opened at around $80, and now it is at $13. So, I mean, it hasn't done anything but drop ever since. Ever since it released the IPO. So, look at that. Okay, downtrend, downtrend. Not even trying to break that downtrend. So, be careful on that. Period. If you're planning to invest in this type of company, I don't know what it does, but I don't see any potential there. I am grateful to be here, Arlindo. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for joining the live. Arwick, check NBIS. NBIS. I've heard that one before. NBIS. Nebius. Yeah, somebody mentioned that one at one point. Let's take a look. Okay. See. Okay, that's the weekly. This is the daily. He had a big drop back in November 21, and ever since November 21, I mean, you can see that drop. Was it November? Yeah, November of 2021. Not looking great, man. I mean, you take kind of trying to break out of that trend. You have to look at maybe the 4 hour, but in the daily candles, it's sort of wanting to break out of that trend. This is a good example of how a stock uses the 200 SMA as support. You see the 200 right here, the orange line. It broke through it, and then now it's using it as support. See, because previously it's resistance. Resistance always becomes support. So it broke through the resistance, and then now it's using it as support, and then it's bouncing off of that. It's also using the 20 SMA as support. So, I mean, if you're willing to put some money into this, and then maybe put the stop loss somewhere at the 200 or the 20, okay, because it's been using those two in the daily as support, give it a try. You know, it might be finally breaking out of that downtrend, but get some confirmation, and that way you know whether or not to enter into this trade. But always protect your money and put a stop loss wherever you feel comfortable. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here again. If you want to join me on the lives, I'm here 9 to 10 or after 9 during the week, Monday through Friday. So you guys are welcome to join me anytime during the week. I will see you tomorrow. I already shared the news for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, if I hear something on the news, I will post it on my profile. It's usually on my story, so check it out. As soon as something comes out that I know it's gonna move the market, I will post it on my story. That way, you guys are informed and can compare, how the market is looking versus, what the stories we're getting. So, hope you guys have a good night. Flaco, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Hope you join us here during the lives during the week.